Today, we are going to explore a fascinating subject:
the role of mountains in rainfall and how this is mentioned in the Quran more than 1,400 years ago. Mountains are not just pieces of rock rising from the ground. They are part of a divine system designed to stabilize the earth, store water, regulate climate, and sustain life. Centuries ago, modern science has only recently discovered what the Quran revealed: mountains as Earth's stabilizers. The Quran says, "And we placed within the earth firmly set mountains, lest it should shake with them." Surah An-Naba. He has placed firmly set mountains on the earth, so it will not sway with you. Surah Luqman. These verses describe mountains as stabilizers of the earth. Science today confirms that mountains are, like pegs, deeply rooted in the earth's crust. They balance the tectonic plates and prevent excessive shaking. Without mountains, earthquakes would have been far more destructive. But their role does not stop here. Mountains are also central to the rainfall system. Mountains and the water cycle. The Quran says, "And we placed therein lofty, firmly set mountains, and gave you sweet water to drink." Before going further, kindly subscribe the channel. Mountains are directly linked to the provision of fresh water. They act as reservoirs, storing water in the form of snow and glaciers. When the sun shines, the snow melts and forms rivers and springs that supply water to human civilization. Science tells us more than half of the world's fresh water originates in mountain regions. Rivers like the Nile, the Indus, the Ganges, and the Yangtze all begin from mountains. Without these glaciers, Pakistan's fertile plains would dry up. Thus, mountains are the water towers of the world. Mountains and vegetation. The Quran says, "And it is He who spread out the earth and placed therein firm mountains and rivers, and of all fruits He made therein to mates. He covers the day with night. Surely in this are signs for people who reflect." Surah An-Naba 3. Mountains are not barren as they may appear from afar. They are a source of vegetation and biodiversity. Science explains, because mountains cause rainfall, they create fertile soil and greenery on their slopes. The Himalayas, for example, are home to rich forests that sustain wildlife and human communities. Pakistan's Murray Hills, Kagan Valley, Swat, and Gilgit-Baltistan are perfect examples of how mountains bring lush greenery, fruits, and crops. The Quran connects mountains to rivers and fruits, a system of life that depends on mountain-induced rainfall. Mountains and clouds, rain formation. The Quran says, "And it is He who sends the winds as glad tidings before His mercy, until when they bear heavy clouds, we drive them to a dead land, and therewith revive the earth after its death. Thus will be the resurrection." Surah Al-Araf 57. It is Allah who sends the winds, and they raise the clouds. Then He spreads them in the sky as He wills, and makes them into fragments, until you see rain come forth from their midst. Surah Ar 48. These verses describe the movement of clouds by winds, their accumulation, and the eventual downpour of rain. Science calls this orographic rainfall. When moist winds strike a mountain, they are forced upward. As the air rises, it cools and condenses into clouds. As the air rises, it cools and condenses into clouds. The clouds become heavy, and rain falls on the windward side of the mountain. This is exactly the system hinted at in the Quran. Mountains as sources of springs and rivers. The Quran says, "And we brought forth for you from the mountains springs of water." Surah Yasin 34, Surah An-Naba 15. Science confirms this. Mountains are home to natural springs. Water seeps through rocks, collects underground, and emerges as freshwater springs. These springs are vital for mountain communities and also feed rivers downstream. Mountains and snow. The Quran hints at mountains storing water in different forms. Have you not seen that Allah sends down rain from the sky, and then we produce thereby fruits of varying colors? And in the mountains are streaks, white and red, of varying shades, and some extremely black. Surah Fatir 27. Mountains are painted with white snow, colored rocks, and minerals. This verse highlights both the beauty and resources of mountains. Science adds, snow-capped peaks store fresh water in frozen form. When summer arrives, melting snow feeds rivers, ensuring year-round water supply. Mountains in Quran and science. Let us summarize the harmony between Quran and science. Quran says, mountains stabilize the earth. Science says, mountains anchor tectonic plates. Quran says, mountains provide sweet water. Science says, glaciers and springs supply fresh water. Quran says, mountains are linked to fruits and vegetation. Science says, orographic rainfall makes slopes fertile. Quran says, winds move clouds, which bring rain to barren lands. Science says, moist air rises along mountains, cools, and produces rainfall. This is a perfect match between revelation and modern discovery. Conclusion. Mountains are one of Allah's greatest blessings. They stabilize the earth, store water in glaciers and snow, cause rainfall through orographic effect, provide rivers, springs, and vegetation, sustain life for billions of people. The Quran revealed these facts 1,400 years ago, and modern science is only now catching up. We hope you enjoyed this journey of knowledge. To support our work and encourage us to create more, please consider subscribing to the channel. By sharing this with others, you play a valuable role in spreading factual knowledge. Your comments mean a lot to us. Thank you.